Most recent house price index, so this is more current stuff, but this is from Zoopla. You haven't seen this because it's just come out this morning, as you were probably.
Let me guess. Buyer demand up.
Well, it's actually Zoopla have been quite good. They've done some other stuff, but I mean, yeah, they put house price inflation is up by 0.5% last month, but it kind of doesn't matter. The one stat that they have put, which I thought is probably a little bit more relevant to real life, is house prices are 1.4% higher over the first 7 months of 2024 in comparison to the same time in 2023. So although they came down, we're now kind of nearly matching inflation.
So recovered, really.
Yeah.
So there's matching inflation. So what's inflation at the moment? About 2%.
Yeah. So not far off that.
Do you think that's if house pricing matches inflation, that's a good market?
I think that's a base market. That's like, we're not seeing anything strategic in terms of people trying to ride a wave up or down. It's just everyone knows where they stand. Prices are going to bumble along at 2% increase that year, and roughly everything's kind of, I hate the word normal, but everything's kind of, you know where you stand. It's a basic market.
So I think that's brilliant, because if we take that 2%, for example, and you're just getting a 2% increase year on year, and I'm finding in sort of the Birmingham and sort of Solihull and surrounding areas that people are moving around every 7 years, between 7 and 10 years. Yeah. That's probably their first property that they sell on about the 7-year point. Mm-hmm. Now, if you've bought your property and we stay in this kind of market and we're just hitting 2%, you're going to be 14% up by the time you move.
Yeah, I think because it'll compound, it'll end up potentially being a bit more, but yeah, it's good because it means you're going to buy the property, and as long as you buy it at the right money at the right time, then when you come to sell, you'll have more equity. You'll have paid a bit of the mortgage off. You'll have a bit more equity because prices have gone up. Yeah. So it makes the upsize.
I think what it does is take the guesswork out of it, because when I speak to clients, they're like, when's the next boom, or when the price is going up, what's happening with prices? It would just be so much easier to go, just look at the graph and just take where you are now and where you could be. But I think in recent years we've seen huge booms and busts because of everything, because the economy, Brexit, the war, like we could go on about all of them.
It's too hard to predict those sort of things.
Yeah.
Activity levels, according to Zoopla, buyer demand, you mentioned, what's that, 20% up. This is versus the same time last year. Number of sales agreed is up 23%. Flow of new supply, listings are up 12%. And stock of homes for sale are up 14%. So everything's up. There's more stock.
Yeah.
There's more flow of supply. There's more buyers. And ultimately there's more sales. And what's key about that is the highest metric is sales agreed at 23, which means still more deals are being agreed. 23%. That's huge, right? A 23% uplift in buyer demand. Yeah.
And that's compared to 2023.
Yeah.
When it wasn't an awful market, it was okay.
It was okay, but if you think it was when mortgage rates had spiked,
the interest rates gone up.
6%-ish, something like that, was people were a bit kind of apprehensive. It was still, stuff was moving, but now we're looking at, okay, there was 5.8% as the average mortgage then, and now maybe you can get with a high deposit a 4%. And there's some threes, isn't there, that are popping out.
So what we're saying is all of those figures you just gave there is probably driven by the interest rate, the drop in the interest rate. Yeah.
Market confidence, that aspect of things, really. So, for Zoopla, it's quite an interesting bit of data.